Now you guys know I'm not going to be coping here. Look at this. New Sony patent aims to simplify console game development. That's right, guys. Without, we're reading that right. Without Devkits. Comment up here. More third-party stuff and simplification. Sony has published a new patent that aims to replace traditional dev kits with a regular PCI Express card that can be plugged into a regular PC. Now, this is a patent they just filed saying they want to simplify console development. We see a more, to me, a gap closer to PC. Do you know what I find funny, guys? Let's think about this. That's good if I can sell my game on PlayStation without DevKit. Right now, I'll put it on each IO. It actually sounds really good because it can be a barrier to entry, is what he probably meant. Sounds awesome. But the fanboys on this site, of course, we know how like there's a lot of places fanboys. Like I told you about, when it comes to M4G, they're going to downvote all that. They don't want any of that happening. It's a pony site. Now, I don't think that's AI. I mean, there could be some in that. And then we go down here. It doesn't sound too far off from server blades used for game streaming. Just more attention spent on size and power consumption. But I can see it, especially if it can use the PC's hardware as the CPU and GPU. I can definitely see it being practical. This guy's coming down saying you guys aren't reading between the lines. If you no longer need a dev kit to build games on Sony platforms, what y'all think that means? Multi-platform stuff, third-party talk is likely real. I'd have to say, yeah, that also needs to be included in what they're saying. This is more closer to PC, so what does that mean? You're expanding out. Well, 4 people didn't like that. This guy says, LOL, no, that doesn't make any sense at all and would be very cumbersome if you are looking to make a PC port. It basically sounds like an SoC on a PCI Express card. Why would you need a separate PCI Express in order to make a PC port when you already have a PC? What is the cost saving measure for Sony? The card becomes the dev kit. A lot of interesting takes here, right? This guy comes and says, sounds like Sony's making some moves to bring more games to different devices. Of course, he gets more downvotes than he does upvotes, which I find funny. Now, the patent is over here. New Sony patent aims to simplify console game development without dev kits. Regardless of everything that they're saying, the patent is saying simplifying console game development without dev kits. It still says console game development. So, Sony has published a new patent that aims to replace traditional dev kits to simplify console game development for gaming studios. And it proposes a PCI Express card containing the console's core hardware that can be plugged into a what? PC. If it wasn't on a PC, then it wouldn't be able to be plugged into it, or a server as a development kit. I think Sony's trying to get things going up faster too. This is actually, I think this is actually cool. I would have not seen this coming. I didn't even, you know what I mean? This is not something that crosses your mind. Just to give other people ideas too. But what I find funny is the coping of these people. Definitely in some of those comments, they just can't stand even the idea of thinking about Sony and PC. And it's like, dude, why are you still thinking about it when it's been in front of you for years already? What is there to think about? It's been done. So Sony's just trying to, like I said, close that gap even more. Make it more easier and faster. Everybody's winning in that. Because that's going to go into the next Xbox thing PC as well. But yeah, a special chip, the in-game management bridge, handles communication between the host and the card. So we're getting some answers here rather than comments. We just wanted to read that to laugh. Both Xbox and PlayStation consoles have had exclusive hardware that sets them apart from regular PCs. Correct. Hence, developing games for those different ecosystems has always been a pain for studios over the years, but Sony may finally have a solution for this dilemma. We have found multiple new patents published by Sony that aim to simplify games, how games are developed for consoles, while preserving their proprietary nature in the process. That's the interesting thing that we're talking about here, y'all. Sony wants to convert the traditional dev kits into small PCI Express cards that serve the same purpose. And you're wondering, so how are we reading this? What the hell does that really mean, right? Let me get to all this. The company proposes PCI Express cards with core console hardware to replace scarce dev kits for game development. So to me, it's a quality in life improvement for game development kits, which is just better off for everybody. And for third-party expansion into PC, which ties into whatever else is tied into PC. You see what I'm saying? So this is positive news for gaming in general. Doesn't matter what side you're on, this is just good. And the funny thing about this, let's get back to where we're at. Yeah, you see what's so funny is that there are multiple new patents published by Sony that aim to simplify how games are developed for consoles. Multiple, not just one guy's, multiple new patents. So this is a thing, just like we see the live operation thing. So we're kind of getting some peer into behind the scenes of what's going on at PlayStation. And they're like, man, all this time lost, all that, simplify everything. Like they're finding ways to be intelligent. It looks like these guys, these new guys are the right people to get in. And I think everybody could possibly agree with that now. If you're not stuck in the exclusive only Ghost World now, which is Sony said is done. You can go in there. You want? They're not gonna go there though. It's gonna keep moving forward. So Sony wants to convert traditional dev kits, as we were saying right here. Okay, so going down, it says a console compute card, PCI Express card for installation in a host system is provided. Whereas the console compute card includes compute resources substantially similar to compute resources of a retail game console. That's actually pretty cool. It sounds like something Nintendo would figure out, but seeing Sony do it is actually pretty funny. Just when you just think about that. I just mean that process, not the PC extension. Very interesting. So it's like some independency for every third-party developer and stuff. Simplified. Like they're saying, with compute resources of a retail game console independently. I'm curious to see how this is actually going to play out. I'm not going to jump the gun and say, I know how it works 100% because we still have to learn more about this. If you get what I'm saying, I'm not jumping the gun. Even when I read the comments, I still have to read more. This is my first time looking at this. I was waiting to do this just live with you guys straight on the go. Just letting y'all know. Why it matters, Sony aims to preserve the exclusive nature of its console. So we read that carefully. While making it easier, why it matters. While making it easier for developers to create games for it. So studios could soon utilize a PCI Express card that can replace the traditional bulky dev kits currently in use. And then we see kind of like a figurine right here, giving us an example right there. What's going on? RAM, APU, RAM. You see? This is what's going on the compute card. This is the compute card that they're talking about. It has everything on it. Figurine 1. And so let's back up here a little bit. Just want to show that for you guys. It says the patent dubbed Game Console Endpoint Management Bridge for local system game development. So this is about the PlayStation. Well, let's think about this though, because I want to explain more things about this so I can simplify this for you guys. It's not necessarily bad because Sony's focusing on this, even if it was about their exclusives, even if it was about third-party games only or on a PlayStation, because what I'm saying is that if it speeds it up for them, it speeds it up for you. Always see how it comes together in a circle. So you want to be interested in everything Sony does now. If you were on Xbox. And possibly Nintendo too, because I don't see them not branching out. We saw that in Indiana Jones, and then we seen Nate come in there and talk about Starfield is happening too. Oh, you think that's it? Forza's going to be coming too. Watch. Halo's coming. Gears is coming. Guys, I'm telling you, even if they have to do the 30 frames per second versions, but Nintendo will be fine. They will do that because it's just about getting that operation going. You see? And they'll be fine. And I think, I read this patent. Nintendo can use DLSS 3.1 so they can get frame generation. And it's in process. I'm telling you, just keep being patient, guys. Definitely we can get a mid-gen upgrade with an OLED and stuff. As time goes on and on, technology will get diminishing returns and things are going to be fine. It's all about, can you get the game or not? Are you able to enjoy that experience? Because it's going to look good everywhere in the future. See? Think like that. All right. Sony argues that console exclusivity complicates game development. And specialized dev kits aren't easily adapted for cloud use. So it proposes using these console PCI Express cards instead. Perfect music, because this is some superstar knowledge right here, if you get what I mean, like information. Sony argues that console exclusivity complicates game development. Oh man, did Sony just say that? Who's gonna crash out over that when they figure this out? Because what they're also telling me is that this is complicated for the operation and everything we want to do. It needs to be something that is going to unify all of us. And I can go right into my PC and look how easy that is. Or right into the PC, look how easy that is. That's the way I'm kind of seeing it. I'm not saying maybe that's 100% correct, but do you guys kind of get what I mean? I feel like everything I'm seeing here and everything I've been showing, just like in these other videos, have all been unified in one circle to all these different things you would put on like you're a detective, and it all points to third party and some stuff day and date. I never once said that would happen in full confidence solidified, but I knew that some things like that were going to happen, as I explained with China PC. This is mostly PC, but Alex said that it was going to be day and date, and he wants it to be full day and date, and that's what he said. And I remember him saying that, so I'm going to give him credit for certain things if that happens. But I think we are going to see that with China more than anything else, because, like I said, China is mostly PC, so they're not going to miss the PC market. So Sony's like, okay, we'll just give it to my console as a timed exclusive, and I want the deal here. And if we got to branch out to them in the future in PC, that's fine. But I want publishing so I can get all that for Sony rights. You're going to win, I'm going to win, and I'm going to promote my consoles in China. They can use that as a cheaper entry PC and buy like they did all those Wukong's games on there. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. That's what they want going on. But to continue down, the game console must be adapted in various ways, to accommodate the needs of game developers, or additional specialized hardware currently must be created to enable game development. Interesting stuff here in this. Some under the radar stuff I found. I don't think a lot of people know about it, but that's the type of stuff I like to do anyways. Just to be unique, not do everything everybody else is doing. But sometimes do, you know what I mean? Because that's just fun. And I like doing content with people. Okay, if anybody wants to collab and team up with some videos, hit me up. I don't mind. You want me on the show, hit me up. We can talk about whatever you want to do. Just let me know before we do it, so we can set the tone. The game console must be adapted in various ways. So Sony is literally trying to be more diversified now and actually expand out and be more varied. Guys, I think these are things people have always wanted Sony to do outside of that console exclusive mentality world. Because they were always third party anyways, so. And we got another diagram right over here. Workstation. Console card, soft bridge, APU. Motherboard. We're getting a deeper diagram here. This figure shows the concept of a workstation dev kit. Host system, incorporating a PCI Express card with the core console components. So they said this is what is changing, and this is what they're going to be seeing. We see this USB and Ethernet right here, right? Let me zoom in for you guys. USB Ethernet. Okay. These PCI Express cards can be used to create efficient Devkit servers that can be accessed remotely over the internet, or serve as local workstations for direct console game development. So you could do remote stuff from a PC, or you could just go right to the direct console game development at a local workstation, local over the internet. That's pretty cool. Sony's doing some good things like that. This is stuff that I like to see. You know what I mean? Because this is innovative. You want hardware innovation, right? This is what I'm talking about, guys. I like this, and I see what Microsoft is doing. Sony has also posted a series of other interesting patents in the past, including one that discusses innovative dust-proof console design, likely for the PlayStation 6, and another one that aims to reduce the overall size of AAA games by changing the way textures are handled. Good, because Nintendo has something like that. You think Sony's patent could completely change the way console game development works and replace dev kits entirely in the future? Let us know in thoughts in the comment below. That's what they said. So yeah, you guys let me know about that too in the thoughts in the comment below. Here we go. This is very interesting. And I have to say, I did not expect to see this. Ponies, you gotta stand up for this. Because yeah, I bet you thought that sit down was coming, didn't you? Don't worry, you might get one of those too now. But yeah, this is cool. I'm all for it. I don't really see a problem with this. I feel like anything to simplify gaming experiences and make things more unified and branched out, and it could never be a bad thing. But let me know what you guys think about this, all right? Peace out. And if anybody thinks they're viewing some things differently and they have some other information about this, let me know. All right, later.